Hey sweetheart, I'm your Brooklyn mom, and today we're going to take a look at Assassin's Creed Valhalla. This is going to be a full review, more like an impression sort of thing. I gotta get ready for Thanksgiving, and Lord knows your mother needs all the time she can get. First things first, let me be upfront. Ubisoft provided me with a copy of the game. I'm not getting paid to cover this, but I did get this free copy via their PR creator team. Now that being said, let me address number two. It behooved me to mention that Ubisoft has been guilty of a lot of shady things over the years. If you want full documentation, I urge you to check out Jim Sterling's many videos on it, but at the very least, understand that there's been allegations of sexual abuse and harassment from the company, as well as some real shady stuff discounting BLM movement and its supporters, and all of this is on top of some anti-consumer things like microtransactions and other gated content. So I'm going to leave it up to you to decide to financially support a company with multiple controversies like these. Okay? Okay. All that being said, let's take a look at the game. So I've been playing video games since Mario and Luigi, my neighbors down the block, traded their plumbing business for saving princesses, and I gotta tell you, I've been having so much fun with this game. So, full disclosure, I haven't played a lot of Assassin's Creed games. I only really played Odyssey, where I absolutely adored that Cassandra girl. So I'm coming into the series with relatively fresh eyes, and what's exciting for me might be old hat to you, but I gotta tell you, there's a lot of exciting things here. So, you play as Ivor, a Viking or warrior, who does what a lot of them stereotypically did. Drink, love their family.
I'm so proud of you.
Sail and play dice games. But something's happened to your homeland, and you find yourself heading to England to build a new home. Now, I don't want to get into too much spoiler territory with the story, but I gotta say, it kept me pretty engaged while I was playing. I found myself interested in not just Ivor, but the supporting characters and a lot of the smaller NPCs roaming around. The writing has been very delightful so far, and I'm really interested in seeing where it goes. Ivor is an interesting character too, since you can either play as a male, female, or have what the game describes as the animus choosing the stronger data stream, which switches between the two. Personally, I'm pretty happy that Ubisoft is still dedicated to including female protagonists, and the option to play as both is pretty refreshing. And there's even an option to change this decision at any time in the menu screen. Now, personally, your mother likes playing as a woman, but I could see the appeal of switching things up once in a while. It's a nice touch. Now, another reason why I can't speak too much to the main story is that I honestly spent so much of my time exploring. I love snow and winter, and as soon as I got into my little longboat, I just spent time traveling from one place to the next just to take a look around at the world. Your mother has an older PC because I sacrificed for you kids, but I was still able to catch some real stunning scenery and vistas. Ivor comes with a raven companion instead of that usual eagle, and they can help you find and mark points of interest. On the map, you can look for wealth spots, side quests, items, and other little things hidden around. I spent more time walking and climbing on the mountains, using my little raven buddy to find cool things, instead of moving forward with the story. I mean, look at this. It's prettier than Prospect Park in the fall, but you didn't hear me say that. Now, if you're running an older computer like me, the PC version comes with a benchmark tool to play around with. I've had to lower some of my settings, but everything still looks great. You may notice in some of the footage here that there's screen tearing, but I don't know if that's the game being buggy or if it's my PC, so keep that in mind. Let's talk about the gameplay for a bit. I found it pretty fun to run around and climb and do all the parkours that the kids are doing. The handling is pretty intuitive. even if some of that magic is taken away when you realize that all you're doing is pressing forward and A, but don't worry about it, it's still fun. The game does very well when it comes to its combat too. You could do sword and shield, dual wield, two-handed weapons, bows and arrows, and it was nice having all that kind of variety. Combat can be difficult if you're not paying attention, but as long as you keep up with upgrading your gear, weapon, and skills, you should be okay. Speaking of skills, I absolutely love the skill progression system here. You start out viewing 3 skill trees, Wolf, Raven, and Bear, or Agility, Stealth, and Strength respectively. As you decide what powers, buffs, and abilities to unlock, more skill trees open up with even more choices. I haven't unlocked them all yet, since I'm focusing more on, the strong, stealthy type, but I think this is a great addition. It reminds me a lot of Final Fantasy X Spear Grid, remember that game? Which I also enjoyed, but it's not as linear, so to me that's a huge plus. Now, I mentioned I play on PC, so I played a little bit with the mouse and keyboard and a little bit with the controller, and I gotta say, it's so much easier playing with the controller. A lot of the default key maps on the keyboard are pretty awkward, and I'm constantly referring to the reference card to see what buttons do what. It's very confusing. On the flip side, with the controller, everything's mapped pretty intuitively. It's less convoluted, and I had more fun playing with it. I can't aim the bow and arrows with the controller to save my life, but otherwise I'd stick to that if that's an option for you. Another fun addition are the little mini-games scattered throughout the world. There's a dice game which, to be honest, your mother still can't figure out how to play. God damn it! God damn it! A quick time event drinking game. And Flights, which are basically an homage, some might say ripoff, but whatever, of Monkey Island's insult battles.
In flighting, it's key to match cadence and rhyme. It's as much about sound as it is about time. So be careful in choosing the words that you say.
I'll recall what you taught ere I enter the fray.
A fine answer. Perfect rhyme and a lovely cadence to match my line.
The flights are especially nice since if you're clever enough to win, you can increase your charisma, which will give you additional dialogue options in certain conversations. I'm a huge fan of RPGs where high speech stats means you get more dialogue, so that really got your mother's attention. Finally, the last thing I want to talk about is the accessibility options. When you start the game, you can choose your difficulty levels for exploration, stealth, and combat, with at least 3 options for each. Now, I know some of you tough kids think that having this is worthy of losing all your gamer cred, but listen to your mother. You don't gotta prove nothing to nobody. Some people might just want to experience the story. Some people might not be able to handle intricate controls for combat and need the help. And yeah, some people might want to just breeze through the game. All of these people are valid, and they can do what they want with their $60 video game, alright? In the meanwhile, I hope other companies learn something from this and start to include more accessibility and difficulty options in their games. Having our fun be more accessible to everyone is a good thing. Soapbox done. That's about all I have to say for Valhalla. I don't know if I'm going to do a full review. I got enough on my hands raising you kids. But after playing this for about 7-8 hours, I have to say that I've had a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to playing more. So I hope you like this video. Make sure you give it the thumbs and the describes, and leave a comment. Let me know if you like this. Your mother works very hard in putting this together, and I've got so much to do around the house. And like I said, Thanksgiving's coming up, and it's a whole thing. Don't even get me started on this. So let me know if you want more of these in the future, and go enjoy the game. Make sure you do your homework. Oh, and wear a mask. Don't you go outside without wearing a mask. I see you. Put the mask on before you go outside.
Hearken well in Hall of Kings. On ocean's steed my words gain wings. Odin's mead I forth will bring. For noble deeds and honor sing. The brave men slain Valkyria waits. Rewards for strain to Valhalla takes. And horns resound the mighty horn.